you know, promoting the tournament, doing something you actually really enjoy, and spending time with some fellow tennis players and NHL superstars. So from that standpoint, it's the stuff I used to do so much when I was younger and growing up, kids clinics and all those kind of things. Now tournaments usually want me more in the press room and doing interviews and promoting the tournament that way. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope I'm going to have a good week here.
Being from Switzerland, have you ever played ice hockey before? You know, we love our hockey here in Canada.
Well, and we love it too in Switzerland, but I don't know, somehow I never really got on the ice that much, especially ice hockey, not really. I went skiing, you know, sometimes on vacation, so I'm better at that than ice skating really. I think the last time I actually skated was probably 12 or 14 years ago here in Toronto, when I did a bit of a game with Magnus Norman and Lauren Doe and other players. So it's been a long time, and I'm a horrible skater. I can't skate actually, so unfortunately, but that's one thing I'd like to learn once I'm done playing.
Well, you did a great job when he was out there. 2 sets of twins at home. How are you managing to balance life on tour and life at home?
It's very easy being here now, but obviously it's great being a dad, number one. Then one of 4 is absolutely incredible. I never thought I would have that many kids right away, but we're managing well. My wife's unbelievably supportive. My mom's here too this week, so trying to manage the situation, and it's a lot of fun now. The girls are 5 and the boys are 3 months, so we have our hands full, but it's how I've always wanted my life to be at one point, to have a big family, and I have it now already, so it's a lot of fun.
It's a quick way to do it, that's for sure. I have 4 kids as well, Roger, so I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. It's pretty quick advice. Stop. Brad, I think you're out there somewhere.
Yeah, no, right in front here we have this young man, Kyle, has a question for Roger.
Hi Roger, are you going to teach your kids how to play tennis?
I've tried, and then they tell me the coach told me to do it this way, so then I was like, okay, well then you do it that way then. It seriously happened, yeah, I mean, I go with them on the tennis court from time to time, depending on where we are in the world, because it's not always as easy everywhere, but I mean, I'm not crazy about it. I just want them to do stuff at the moment they really enjoy, and they prefer other things more, like swimming and that kind of stuff. So, but sure, if they choose to play tennis, you know, I know how it goes, so I can help them there a little bit.
I coach tennis for a living, and I have a funny feeling if you walked through the door and asked me to teach your kids, I'd be like, no, sorry, can't do that. Just a little too much pressure. Brad's got another question for us from the audience.
We do, from Joy here.
Hi, Roger. I wanted to know who your tennis idol was, or is.
Well, growing up, Boris Becker was my first hero, and then I switched very quickly to Edberg for some reason, and that was the guy then I always admired the most. And then once they both retired, it was Pete Sampras who was my favorite player, and alongside actually Marcelo Rios, who I also enjoyed watching a lot. And I got the chance to play Pete and Rios, and now clearly, you know, having Edberg and, you know, by my side when I'm playing is really cool and special, and I really appreciate him taking the time out. But I mean, for me, idols were very important, to be quite honest, as a kid growing up, so I could idolize, not necessarily copy somebody, but really like having somebody to look up to and to hopefully be like them maybe one day in some shape or form.
Asked Roger Federer on Twitter a while ago, and I believe your phone crashed because there were so many questions coming in. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, basically. I mean, it's just like, okay, ask me questions, and then it's just within no time you get 800,200 questions, and you're scrolling through, and you want to reply, and you can't even stop it. Like, it's just frozen, or it keeps on moving. So it was a challenge, but I was able to get it done, and just interact. You know, it's great. You know, I give them a bit of an insight to what I go through on a daily basis sometimes, but I also like to take the opportunity not to having to tweet and not having to connect all the time. I feel like if I'm in the mood to, great, and if I don't, I think people understand, so it's actually quite friendly out there.
Brad, do we have a question coming from the crowd again?
We do, from Mary here.
Hi, Roger. We are huge fans in our house, and my son has tickets for Friday night. He wanted to know if you were planning on still being here Friday night.
The plan is that, yes. The whole plan, this plan won't change, you know. So, I mean, I hope I can start off well tomorrow night. I hope everybody gets to play today, so my match is tomorrow. But no, I'm very excited being here. I'm actually feeling much better now. The first few days I struggled with rhythm. I struggled to get used to the court and maybe humidity and conditions here. But yesterday's practice was good, and I think it's like for any player, it's just important to get through that first round. You know, get a sense for how are conditions here, and get a bit of confidence as well. The draw is not easy for no player here in the draw, but I've had a really good and solid year this year, so I hope to be there Friday. We'll see how it goes.
I don't think Roger knows, but we do have another guest joining us on stage. That's why there's another chair there. So for a former #1 player in the world with a 74.9% winning percentage, let's hear it for Coach Edberg. I just need that mic, Brad, for Coach.
So much work to manage everything this week. Can you take a picture?
Well, thanks for joining us up here.
Zoom in.
Thank you.
Just zoom in.
So the phone rings. Roger Federer is on the line and says, how about working together? What were you doing before that, and what did you think about as he called you?
Well, we've been through it. I was a little bit surprised to start with. That's very, very true, because when I've been off the tour for quite some time, and being as a coach on the tour was nothing that I really ever thought about, and it took me some time to get over it. But you know, in the end, you know, I decided that we were going to spend some time in Dubai, and we spent some time there for a week, worked a little bit together, and then it was an easy one.
Well, certainly similar style out there, the way you carry yourself, so that part I'm sure was easy. What's it like to work with Roger Federer in practice? And pretend for a moment, before you answer, that he's not sitting right beside you.
I was going to say, like, I shouldn't be here when he's answering these questions, but go ahead, Stefan, enjoy this one.
To tell you the truth, it's one of the easiest guys to work with. Roger is very, very easy, on and off court, so it's actually just a pleasure, and the truth is he knows a lot more about tennis than I do.
So Roger, with Coach sitting beside you, do you get a chance to go out and hit with him at all? Will he take you on every once in a while?
Well, we don't play points necessarily, but we've gotten like into a rhythm sometimes to where we warm up a lot for the matches actually, because I think it's unbelievably inspiring for me. My dream was always to play tennis with Stefan, and I got the opportunity once in Stockholm way back when I played the tournament there. And so now we warm up for matches sometimes, and it's just a great feeling. He hits a great ball still. He's still very, very fit. So he loves to play himself, and so from that standpoint it works really well for warm-ups. And then of course in the practice sometimes, and you can also you know, do exercises. So it's actually great fun to be playing with Stefan so often now.
I've enjoyed it myself. It's great hitting tennis ball. You know, I just love tennis, and all of you that plays tennis, it's great when you can be on the court and you can hit just up and down the court. It's a great thing.
You will notice that Roger said we don't really play points. That would be Stefan that says let's not really play points. I know how that works.
I have everything to lose. It would be terrible for my confidence. You know? Even though, I mean, it's just once he's retired, you're not allowed to lose against that guy anymore for some reason. Even though
the only chance is we play best of 1 point, and he serves a double fault.
So serve and volley was big with your game. Do you think we're going to see a bit of a return to serve and volley to the tour anytime soon?
No. I think it will take some time, and I think the way tennis is played, because I've got closer to it here, I mean, if I played on the tour today, I wouldn't play serve and volley the way I did in the 80s. It worked maybe then, it would not work today, and it's a game that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of skills, and I think you know, playing with a lot of variation and coming to the net. I think that's the modern game, not playing it all the time because it's too predictable. And the game is very quick today, and the guys return really well. So but it's if you have the skills to do it, it's definitely an advantage.
So Roger, for you, other than Toronto or a Grand Slam, I want to take the pressure off you and not say you can't say Toronto. Which is your favorite tournament that you're playing these days on tour?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly like very much every tournament I go to. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't play it today anymore. In the beginning, it was unbelievably exciting going to new events for the first time. I still think it's a thrill when that happens, but it's quite rare because I've been on the tour for so long and I've played so many different types of tournaments. But I like the sizes of tournaments. You know, the Grand Slams with 300 plus players on site is a total different animal to the 250 we see, you know, somewhere where there's only 30 to 50 players on site, and it's much more personal in a way, which I really enjoy. So I think that mix of things is great. Clearly I have personal tournaments that mean a lot to me because that's maybe the tournament I used to watch on TV when I was younger, or I was a ball boy in my hometown tournament in Switzerland, so that's always going to remain very special for me. Grand Slams are huge, clearly, but reaching the World Tour finals at the end of the year at the O2 in London, for instance, is a big deal just in terms of prestige. So it really depends, you know, what it is. I used to like very much the busy tournaments, so like New York and Miami and Rome, and today I actually do appreciate also the slower tournaments where, you know, you have a little city, where the tournament's in the focus and where there's not so much hustle and bustle. So it's also, I see things different today, clearly, you know, after being on the tour for so long.
I think it's a little tougher in those big cities to hang on to four little hands too.
Yeah, there's cars flying up and down the road, so yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, you know. Yeah, exactly.
So Stefan, one more question if I could. The tour's changed quite a bit since you played. What do you think is the biggest difference that Roger Federer is going through compared to when you played?
Well, it definitely has changed. I think the game has got better. There's no question about it. I think there's a great generation of players playing today. It's very competitive out there. It's very physical, even more than when I was played. And so it's tough being out there. But at the same time, you know, there are great crowds. Tournaments have grown and become a lot bigger. There are a lot of fans out there, so you know it's different today. But the game has definitely grown, and it's better than it was when I was playing.
Well, we certainly appreciate you guys taking the time out here with us today. We did a lucky draw earlier, and we've got 3 winners. We're going to do some photos back in here with them, and they're going to be thrilled to see you. But for our fans out here, we'd like to say thank you. So Toronto, let's give them a nice big round of applause. Roger Federer and Stefan Edberg.